Okay, so usually I make videos that are just me ranting about stupid things and just supposed to be funny, but something has been happening lately that I just feel needs to be talked about. Um, okay, so if you don't know, I'm going to school for animation, so a lot of times in my life people have said, oh no, don't do that, that's dumb, and what's the point of it? And my earliest recollection of somebody criticizing cartoons in general was whenever I was about 11. My grandfather would watch after me a lot, and I was watching, I think, SpongeBob or something, and he would be like, what are you watching that for? That's stupid. What's the point of it? You know, at the end of it. And I'd be like, well, it's just entertaining. I like it. And he'd be like, you should be watching something like the news, something that's worthwhile, you know. And as a kid, I didn't really know how to, like, just I didn't even know how to respond to that. I was just in shock. And I'm not talking bad about my grandfather. I mean, I loved him deeply, and he passed away. So I mean, I have a lot of respect for him, and he taught me a lot. But I just think I'll never forget that one moment because it's just forever in my brain, you know. And I think that was whenever I was 11, and whenever I was 12, I remember distinctly deciding that I wanted to be a cartoonist. And I think that may have been one of the reasons why, is because I just thought to myself, you know what, one day I'm going to prove him wrong, you know, I'm going to prove that animation is important, and cartoons are a big part of people's lives, and so I decided I definitely wanted to do that with my life, and whenever I was in high school, I remember, I was in marching band, and I remember right before we went for a parade, I was talking to this one girl, and we were just talking about what we wanted to be when we grew up, and she was like, I want to be, I don't remember what she said exactly, because I think she changed what she decided she wanted to be a couple times, but I think at the time she wanted to be the type of the person that does autopsies. I don't know what that's called, but, and then she said, what do you want to be? And I said, I wanted to be a cartoonist. And she's like, that's stupid. Why would anyone want to do that? And she said something like, whenever I get old, like, she's like, cartoons are pointless. And she's like, whenever, I was like, well, your kids are going to watch them someday. And she's like, no, whenever I have kids, I'm never going to let them watch cartoons. They're going to watch the news and the Discovery Channel and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, dude, I didn't even do anything to you. Like, why are you saying this to me? You know, oh gosh. I don't know what my response was, because this was years ago. It was probably something like, no, animation's not dumb. What you want to do is dumb, or something. I don't know. I was too young to really think of how I would ever respond to that, but I have thought of a response, and I will tell you it at the end of this video. But another thing that happened recently was I was having lunch with a friend of mine, and he's a journalist major, and the news was on, and he starts watching it, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess, you know, when the news comes on, you're as glued to the TV as I am whenever I'm, like, walking through Sam's Club and I see an animation on. I'm like, oh yeah, you know. And he's like, yeah, well, the news is more world relevant. And I was like, wait, what? And I was so shocked by this. I mean, he's a good friend and everything, but just, I was so shocked that he said that, because, I think, I mean, yeah, I understand that the news is important, and I'm not criticizing it, but I think that animation is very important in people's lives. And I think, I mean, okay, think back to your childhood. I don't know when any of you guys were born or anything, but I know everyone wants to believe that they can do a Super Saiyan like in Dragon Ball Z when they're a kid, or that if you get bitten by a radioactive spider, you're gonna turn into Spider-Man, or that somewhere deep in the ocean, freaking a talking sponge is hanging out with a starfish or something. And you just want to believe that, kind of like how you just want to believe in Santa Claus whenever you're a kid. Sorry if I ruined that. And it's just, it's always, and even now, like, I know Netflix released some of the older 90s cartoons, like Dexter's Lab, and I know I'm not the only one that was like, oh yeah, old cartoons, you know? And I know a lot of people are enveloped in, you know, the whole My Little Pony craze and everything. I like it too, but I know that an admin for the Princess Cane Spade, Shinjitsu, once made a post about how she wanted to, like, she didn't feel comfortable with the way her life was going, and she wanted to just be in Equestria, and just have that sort of life. And I thought, wow, if somebody else can take a cartoon world, like an imaginary world that somebody else came up with, and just use that as like a mental escape. Like, I know even like in college, people just, after between studying for finals and all that, you just want to sit down and watch some Family Guy and just relax, And I know not all people can agree to this, but I think most people can. And I think cartoons are just as big of a part in people's lives, as anything else. My cousin, on my dad's side of the family, she wants to be an art education major when she gets into college. And some of my family members were like, "Oh, why do you want to do that?" And so one family member was like, "Oh no, you're too smart for that." And I thought it was shocking that someone would say that, because it does take a lot of intelligence to be an art education major. It takes intelligence to do anything, really. Even in the art world, you have to be really creative, and it's a lot of hard work. And I don't think it's right to really criticize someone for what they want to do with their life. My boyfriend is a ceramics major, and back when he went to college at a community college first to get some of the credits out of the way, and he was taking a beginning level ceramics course, and there was other people there that were like nursing majors that had to take that class just to fill some requirements. And it's said that nursing is supposed to be a very stressful environment, and just trying to get through med school is hectic. And I'm not disagreeing with that. Of course, any major is hectic, but he told me that some of the nursing majors were like, "This is more stressful than any of my classes that I have to take for nursing." And I thought that was really significant, because if someone who's majoring in a medical field can say that an art class is more difficult and stressful than what they are doing, I think that just proves that art isn't as easy as everyone says it is. I'm not saying, oh, art is harder than nursing, but I'm just saying it is harder than what most people think. And it involves a lot of hard work. And I think no matter what you want to do, you shouldn't let people tell you, "Oh, hey, don't do that." Or, "Oh, no, you should be a doctor or a lawyer because they make more money." I mean, if you genuinely want to be a lawyer or a doctor, that's great, If you want to do that, go for it. But, I mean, just don't do it because people are telling you to, though. And the reason that I want to be a cartoonist, is because, not only because of how important I think it is to everyone else, or to my life, cartoons have played a huge role in who I've become, I believe, they played a huge part of my childhood and in my adulthood. But I think I know it's taking me a long time to get to the point of this, but it'll be worth it. I've been writing a script for a really long time of this whole thing that I just created, and I think that, my best friend reads it, and she told me that she feels like these characters are real to her, and that, whenever I take a break from writing for a long period of time, because I have school and everything that I have to deal with, she says that it's like she's missing her friends, and I think it's just beautiful that somebody could say that about something that I created, because it's I feel like I'm really making a difference, and I just know that what I'm doing is good, and I feel like I'm really getting emotional about this, but it's really a big part of my life, and I just don't think that anyone should be criticized for what they want to do. And I think that if I can make something that I just made up at the top of my head come to life through animation and make it as real to someone else as it is to me, I just think that's got to be the most amazing thing in the world. And that's why I want to be a cartoonist.